Hi, I'm Dennis Morgino. We begin our report on unsung heroes with the story about goodness over sadness and the true meaning of respect and dignity. When an infant dies in San Diego County, the parents are responsible for either a burial or cremation. But sometimes they simply abandon the body. A woman in Riverside County became a guardian for the abandoned babies there. And now, as Corey Voss shows us, a San Diego woman is opening her heart the same way.
Where love is, there God is also.
An infant girl gets a loving goodbye, and her parents aren't here to see it. She was abandoned. That's when this stranger stepped in. Sometimes dreams are dashed, and a baby dies.
There are probably people out there saying, this isn't a child, this is a miscarriage. Well, no. At 20 weeks gestation, the parents have the legal responsibility of disposing of the remains of their child.
Yet at hospitals countywide, parents sometimes ignore the law.
And they abandon the body.
The county waits 30 days for a change of heart. Then the body is cremated and the ashes scattered at sea. At least that's what used to happen.
They deserve more than a number in a morgue.
Alyssa Davey founded Garden of Innocence, a nonprofit that provides a dignified burial for abandoned babies.
May 21st, 1999 was the day I walked into the morgue to pick up Adam.
Adam would have been buried here at Mount Hope Cemetery, where unidentified babies are laid to rest.
Children that are found in the trash, in the sewer.
Right down through here.
6 lie side by side in unmarked graves. But Adam was buried in the Garden of Innocence, in view of Rachel, a donated angel. The garden sits at the end of a sprawling lawn at El Camino Memorial Park and Mortuary in Mira Mesa.
El Camino has donated the property. The only fees that the Garden of Innocence has is the opening and closing of the space.
For 107 graves, it came to about $14,000, and I just signed it. I don't care.
In little over a year, Garden of Innocence has buried Adam and 2 other unidentified babies.
Michael and Michaela.
And 16 abandoned babies. They're given only a first name. In every case, Alyssa sees the death certificate.
That's my choice. I want to know everything. My only problem is because I have to keep it to myself. If it hurts me really bad, I can't vent to anyone.
Today, she's delivering a handmade casket. Alyssa wants the mortuary to prepare the baby's body just right.
She comes out of the body bag, and first I want her wrapped into her receiving blanket. She gets an angel, and then each baby gets a toy.
Humphrey Mortuary is donating its services, and an employee named the baby with one promise.
Go down and whisper it to her or him first. They should be the first ones to know what their name is.
I went down there and I whispered her name, and that's how she became Gloria. And it's spelled Glorya because she's in glory with God now.
But Alyssa's cause doesn't touch everyone, as she found out at a recent meeting of the San Diego City Council.
The child has touched our hearts.
Alyssa says she wanted members to know the plight of these babies in their city, but they spent the so-called public comment time talking with each other.
Up to that first step and escort him home.
Thank you. Your time's up.
And cut her time short.
Besides being humiliating, it was like one more person, one more entity abandoning the children again.
But somehow, the hurt always fades.
Nice to meet you. Thank
Today
you for coming.
is Gloria's memorial service.
Forward, march!
The Catholic Knights of Columbus volunteer their time. At the first service, there were 7. Today, 22.
As with each child that comes into our care, we form a chain of love so that we can say that we have touched this child and this child has touched our hearts. Good night, Gloria.
Some participants are on the board of the Garden of Innocence. Others simply wish to take part.
I'm thankful that my mom had me even though I didn't meet her. I know that she will remember me. I hope you will think of me often.
Even the flowers are donated, and the doves.
To escort Gloria's spirit to her heavenly home. We will now release 19 white doves for the other children buried in the garden. Adam, Jaron, Angel.
Our hope is
Bethany,
that you
Brianna,
tell somebody about this special place so that maybe it'll fall on the ears of one frightened or confused girl and she will consider an alternative to abandonment.
And guide us tenderly.
We're given a baby to take care of, and we take care of it until the ground is placed on top of them and the grass is put back where it belongs. And it's not until that is totally done do we walk away.
Forward, north.
Sleep tight, Gloria.
Ori Voss, Channel 4, San Diego.
The graveside services are non-denominational. The public is welcome to attend. Alyssa says that when the 107 graves are full, Garden of Innocence will find a way to acquire more land.
All right, Mark, thank you. Let me read you a sentence from a newspaper article that was written just a few months ago. It says, a dead fetus was found in a jar inside a trash bin early Friday morning, and police are trying to find out who the mother is. Now, we hear about these stories more often than we'd like, but just what happens to all of those unidentified or abandoned babies? It has become the mission of one local group to make sure that no child ever goes unnoticed or forgotten.
Do not be afraid, I am with you. I have called you each by name. Come and follow me, I will bring you home. I love you and you are.
Tiny little angel Mary, no one gave you a chance to wish upon a star.
Mary was found on July 29th in the trash in National City inside a jar. And we don't know where she came from. We don't know anything about her.
But what Elisa Davey does know for certain is exactly where Mary is now and where she's going next.
I am the word that leads all to freedom.
I am the peace the world cannot give.
They asked me, how can you bury a baby? It's like the hardest thing in the world. And my answer back is, how can I not?
Elisa founded the Garden of Innocence in 1999, a final resting place for all the dead babies in San Diego County, either abandoned in trash bins or whose bodies were never claimed from area hospitals.
The county didn't know what to do with me when I stepped forward. I asked them, what do we do and how do we claim a baby that's been abandoned? And he said, show me you have a dignified place to put them.
There are 84 children buried here in the Garden of Innocence, and today Mary makes 85. Volunteers say that it's their mission to make sure that at least here in San Diego County, no child is ever forgotten. 3-year-old Keegan is still too young to understand why the garden is so special. But what he does know is that his sister is lucky enough to live here.
They found out when he was first adopted that he was a twin.
Keegan has a wonderful family who loves him, but his twin sister was stillborn, her body never claimed by her birth family.
I believe twins have a connection. And as he gets older, he's going to start asking about her.
My daughter spent, months trying to track down his sister. And finally, she was given the name of Elise and called her up. And Elise said, yes, we have her, and we've named her Jeanette.
It's a dignity that you deserve. I can't understand letting a baby go home with a morgue number, just a number, or the name Doe. And I just felt that a name is so important.
So every child that comes to the garden gets a name, a handmade casket, and a burial attended by perfect strangers. On this day, it's Mary's turn, and Keegan and his family are here as they are every time a new baby is sent home to join his twin sister.
The only thing I ask is, today's a new day. Don't mention the word abandonment. Don't mention what an awful mom. Don't mention any of that because it doesn't exist anymore. Today's a new day.
Tiny little angel Mary, your life was not in vain, for you have touched so many hearts.
May you find eternal life.
The Garden of Innocence is located at El Camino Memorial Park in Sereno Valley, and the Memorial Park actually donated the first piece of land to the Garden of Innocence. Since then, Elisa has been able to raise the money to buy more land, and right now the garden can hold up to 600 babies.
It's an incredibly moving story. How did you find this?
I was watching a show on A&E one day where they just happened to mention, it had nothing, it was not the topic of the story I was watching, they just happened to mention in the background real quick, and I found out it was in San Diego, and I looked them up, and I found Elisa, and the great work that she's been doing. She started this all by herself. She read a newspaper article one day and said, she said it haunted her. She was like, what happens to this baby?
And she made it her cause.
Yeah.
The gentleman in the background with the uniforms.
The Knights of Columbus. The Knights of Columbus give their time. They show up to every single burial. They give this ceremony 100% of their time and energy, and it just adds so much. So many people come to this thing, perfect strangers.
Yeah, but you mentioned that in the story, but who? Why would a perfect stranger come to a ceremony like that?
Well, you know what? Oh God, I'm going to start crying.
I know. It's like I said. It's an incredibly moving story.
Okay.
Well.
God.
Then
okay.
we can cover that another time.
Yeah.
Because I understand.
Okay. Sorry. You know what? You hear about it, and then you go to one of these things, and you can't help but just be moved by it. And hopefully next time I'm gonna make it there for. Hopefully it won't be too soon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks
I'm so sorry about that. I did not expect that to happen.
Thank you for sharing the story with us. It's a good story.
Okay.